How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name is Will. That's my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things combat sports. Today, we're going to be talking UFC Fight Night Perth. The Devastator gets devastated, maybe?
Whoa.
I know, right? Crazy. We're going to talk about the main event. Crazy knockout on the main event. But before we do, I want to remind everybody, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steadily climbing. I think we just recently broke 16K, right, Will?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and if you don't like watching, but you like listening in other ways, you got other options.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found if you just want audio. But we both highly suggest YouTube because you get to see us. You get to interact with us on the chat, be featured on the show. You also get to see clips and pictures of the fights that we're talking about for more context. There's also timestamps so you can skip to the fight that you care about the most. And then follow us on social media. It's just at Story of the Fight on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch. Also, just go to storyofthefight.com. It'll list all of our socials. You can click through, hit follow. But YouTube is the most important.
Yeah, TikTok's been climbing.
Ooh, TikTok's. God bless Diego Lopez.
We made one single post, and all of a sudden, we doubled our follower count in 3 days. It was crazy. But yes, so hey, let's go and get started. We have a lot to talk about. We had the main event in Perth. You had mentioned ticket prices dropped a little bit for this one.
Yeah, it was like a week out, and it was like the arena was only like half sold. And they're like, what's happening? And so they dropped the prices. It was like $35 to $75 per ticket. And it's like, whoa, dude, it's cheaper than the damn pay-per-view to be in the arena. But that's what happens when you put together this card.
And people in Australia on the other side were like, man, it's cheaper than pay-per-view. Should we just go? And they're like, nah.
Yeah.
No, let's just stay over here.
Can't be bothered to go across the entire continent, dude.
For real. Shout out Ghost already joining us saying, what up, boys? Happy Sunday. Post-terrible UFC Perth. But yes, we had Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick the Devastator Reyes. Will, I keep on giving you credit all the time whenever we see Carlos Ulberg fight, because since day one, you've been saying this is somebody to keep an eye on. He came in against Canadian Zetriku, and he lost. But you're like, don't let this fool you. Don't let this fool you, because he's going to come back. And since then, he has been on a tear, dude.
Yeah, which is, it's light heavyweight, so it's nice to see some like new blood. And we're big Dominick Reyes fans too. We always have been.
Always have been.
But yeah, Ulberg is just the ascension of Ulberg. And before we talk too much about the fight, might as well watch how it went down. This is why watch on YouTube, because you can see these clips. If you want to see what happened in this fight, it's kind of brutal.
Oh,
bam.
Beautiful 1-2, and he comes in with that right hand straight from New Zealand.
That follow-up shot.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And, that was really the story of the fight, Will. I know, crazy, right? Every time that Dom Reyes came in with that leg kick, because he was pretty hesitant to start off the fight, right? Like, he was being really cautious. He knows that Ulberg has heavy hands. And there was a few times where he'd throw that hard right kick, and then Ulberg would meet him, boom, with the stiff jab. Like right up to him. Anytime he tried to close that distance and come in, boom. And then on the other end with Ulberg, I feel like he had his timing down and his range down, like almost immediately.
Yeah, and that's real quick. Shout out to Blunderbub. What is up, boys? I did not watch because I have been UFC detoxing.
Wow.
I don't blame you. But there's some good stuff coming on the way. Next weekend, I think, is a good one. But yeah, so like you said, distance, timing, Ulberg understood it immediately. That's one of his greatest weapons is, I guess, not necessarily dictating the range, but understanding the range. And, anybody who has a good check hook, you'll hear him talk about it all the time, is knowing when someone's entering how to slide just out of range to land that lead hook to catch him coming in. And you could tell, I mean, he has it cocked. You watch his lead hand circling, ready to toss it over the top. And Dominick Reyes knows that as well. So, like you said, anytime Dom would even just feint in, you see Ulberg just hop right back, ready to uncork that hook. But then you see Dom say, "Oh, never mind, I'm not coming in." And it was 4 minutes pretty much of, Dom trying to jump in and then throw hands. And he got caught a couple times doing that. Not big or anything like that, but you could see he knows the danger of doing that.
Yes.
So then it's almost worse because then he hops in and then doesn't throw anything because I'm not saying he's afraid of the exchange, but he knows the danger of the exchange. And so he'll hop in, don't do anything, and then he's back out. He did it 3 times in a row, and on that third time he hopped in, Ulberg knows, hey, there's nothing of consequence coming in when he jumps in. I'm gonna go. And he just hits him with the I think it was this punch here, left hook, and then he just turns the angle and then comes across with the right.
Beautiful
sits
sequence.
Him down. Beautiful sequence. And Reyes just kind of got a little complacent and entered the same way 3 times in a row with nothing of. You can't just enter and then leave 3 times in a row. You have to throw something. I think he was just too. He was just too puzzled waiting for that hook that he ended up eating it anyways because he was just too hesitant. He's half stepping in. Can't do that.
Man, hate to see Dom go out like that. I know that he took some time off after he had a couple tough losses, right? Want to make sure that he had his mind right. Yeah, had a resurgence. And, I mean, really safe to say he was probably working his way into title contention again. He was on a nice little 3-fight win streak. But, man, Ulberg, dude, just looks so clean. It's so confident, so calm the entire time in there, too. He just looks ready.
Yeah, he looks ready. Hey, shout out my mom's here in the chat. Hi, guys. Been a minute, but I'm here and watch the fights. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's just Ulberg going into this. It was kind of billed as potentially a title eliminator. And I think Ulberg, you're ranked number 3. I think coming into this, you get a knockout in the first round. Even if you're fighting down, right? Dominick Reyes, I think, was 7, but coming off some wins, like we just said, it's kind of hey, if you win here emphatically, you might be next. And it's kind of weird now because I think, is it next weekend that Ankalaev is fighting?
Yes, on the 4th.
Yeah, and is Yidri versus
Khalil
on
exact
the same card.
one. So you have what could possibly be a title eliminator there. But then you also had the Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes, which if somebody had an amazing finish, like Ulberg did, they might just slide into that. So, what do you do here?
Yeah, and so, I was going to ask you and ask everybody in the chat as well. And if you're not watching this live, throw in the comment. But, what do you do next? So, Poatan versus Ankalaev is next. That's next weekend. So, it's perfect timing for all of 3 of these fights, all contenders. If Poatan wins, do you do a trilogy with Ankalaev?
No,
because
Ankalaev.
Okay,
didn't.
so if Poatan wins and you don't do the trilogy, do you have him fight the winner of Khalil versus Yidri?
Yes.
2 guys he's already beat, or do you have him fight Ulberg?
No, give me Ulberg.
You're yes, no, never mind. Because we've already seen him against Yidri twice, and we've seen him against Khalil already. So. I feel if Poatan wins and they don't do a trilogy...
Wait, you see Ankalaev?
No, if Poatan wins...
Oh, no, okay, so if Poatan wins, give me Ankalaev versus the winner of Yidri versus Khalil Roundtree. Toss Ulberg in there against Poatan.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Why not the trilogy?
I don't know, dude, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, if Poatan wins, look, it will be the battle of left hooks with Ulberg. Exactly.
I'm going straight off of entertainment factor.
Yes, 100%.
That's what I'm going off of, right?
What if
you know me, Will? I just want to be entertained.
Okay, but what if Poatan beats Ankalaev and it's crazy entertaining? And you're I want to see that again.
Nah, I don't
because
know, man.
Then you could do Ulberg versus the winner of Yidri versus Khalil, right? Which is also, both of those fights are pretty sick too. If Ankalaev wins, now it's like the floodgates kind of open because Ulberg could get a title shot against Ankalaev. Khalil and Yidri both, that's kind of fresh matchups, right, for Ankalaev. So the winner of that.
There's a lot of different like possibilities that would be fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh matchups. Give me Poatan. Poatan versus Ulberg. You're like, you know what, Will? That makes a lot of sense. Give me Poatan. That's what I want to see.
I just like that. And yeah, let us know what you guys want to see. I think all those fights are fun. I don't necessarily want to see Poatan versus Khalil or Yidri right away. I would rather see him fight Ulberg if he doesn't fight Ankalaev next. But man, light heavyweight, all of a sudden the top 5 with Ulberg, Khalil, Yidri, Ankalaev, Poatan, like that's cool. That's a cool group at light heavyweight, which is, it's been a long time. And shout out Jin, thanks for joining. He says Poatan versus Ulberg for me. It's a sick fight, dude.
Yes, thank you. Poatan versus Ulberg, that's what I want to see as well.
Oh, he's from the Ghost Squad. Hey, shout out the Ghost Squad.
Absolutely.
Ghost got a whole squad he brings around, dude.
I know, it's so sick.
It's pretty sick, dude.
It's so sick. But yes, I'm down with that matchup. Hopefully that's what goes down. Hey, I'm actually excited about that card next week, man. I know we'll talk about it a little bit at the end, but it's a good card.
It's a good card. It's a good weekend. Next weekend is very good for fighting.
Yes. Like all right. Anything else on the main event?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's much.
Hey, but shout out Dom Reyes. Hopefully he bounces back soon. Mm-hmm. He said it just wasn't my night. Right.
Got caught.
Yeah, got caught. It happens. All right. The co-main event. Some would say the people's main event. I'm just kidding. It was Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. Interesting haircut. Interesting matchup.
Crute is back, right? He's been back for a little bit now. He left. He came back.
Yes, and look, we know that he wanted to wrestle. Erslan starts throwing some wild shots, trying to close the distance. So Crute takes him down. He left himself open for the takedown. Great control from Crute. Mm-hmm. That body lock, man. He looks so strong. Crute does.
Yeah, I mean, just there was no good picture, and I didn't grab a screenshot of it because, I mean, to be frank, I didn't spend a ton of time on the slideshow for this one just because the card was pretty bad. But oh yeah, this was funny. The whole like first before he got the takedown, it was just Erslan just cracking him while he's like throwing kicks. So he's just like getting knocked back all crazy every single time. But
you remember those inflatable things like you used to have as a kid, you know, with the boxing gloves? Like you hit it and it just like go down and just come back up.
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Except you wouldn't go all the way down. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, but like you said, he weathered that. He got the takedown. He ends up taking the back, and dude, the way he choked him out, he literally just like chin strapped him from his back.
No, okay.
And just lifted him
up. That
dude.
reminds me. One of my buddies, Matt Lindsay, you might know him.
Yeah,
he's a huge wrestling fan, right? Shout out Matt. And I was like, dude, this reminds me of an old wrestling move, like WWE wrestling move. I couldn't remember the name. And so I sent him the screenshot of Jimmy Crute's finish, and he goes, dude, that's the Steiner recliner. And I was like, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. The Steiner, see if Rich, if you could look it up. Steiner recliner. The Steiner recliner. But dude, that's exactly it. That's exactly the finishing move I was thinking of in the WWE. And I was like, dude, for Jimmy Crute to pull off the Steiner recliner in the UFC, man, that's something else. That's the first time I've seen that.
Dude, even Paul Felder in the post-fight interview, they were talking about it, and he was like, I don't even know what the fuck to call that. Like,
I don't know.
There's no way he thought.
It was that Paul Felder was like, I think he was just going to rip his head off.
Yeah. There's no way he thought that was going to land.
The Steiner recliner, dude. There it is. The Steiner recliner, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God, dude. It's perfect.
He hit the Steiner recliner.
It's fucking perfect.
Do you think that he knew? Like, hey, dude, this is a perfect opportunity for me to hit the Steiner recliner. I'm just going to finish this right now.
No, because he didn't even know what the hell. He didn't even know what the hell he was doing, dude. There's no way he thought that was going to work.
So good, dude. So good. Blunderbuff saying, Steiner Bros mentioned. Yes, absolutely. James saying, hi, guys. SOF and Phantom Punch collab one day? Ooh.
Oh, dude. I would love to. I don't know if we have much to offer Ghost, if I'm being honest. But if Ghost would ever want to work with us, there's no way we would say no.
Hey, if Ghost wants mention of the Steiner recliner in his podcast, I don't know if
We're not even wrestling fans.
I know, dude. I know, but come on, classic. I used to watch it all the time growing up, man. And that's why I saw it, and I was like, dude, I've seen that before. Hey, shout out again, Matt Lindsay. Thank you for knowing everything there is about wrestling and its history, because right away he knew it was a Steiner recliner, my man. I love it. I love it.
I wish you would have told me. Maybe we should start talking before we do the streams, because if you would have mentioned that, I would have got a screenshot and done a side-by-side. But what are you going to do?
Next time he hits the side recliner, I'll be like, hey, dude, let's get this side-by-side comparison ready to go. All right, man. Anything else on the co-main event?
No. I mean, how was that
People's main event? I don't know, dude. But we do have another fight to talk about. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Taveras. What do you think about this fight?
Yeah, I actually really like this fight. All things considered on this card, this was one of the shining fights just because there was cool shit going on. Jack, you know what you're going to get with Jack and his big, powerful kicks. Dude loves to spam kicks.
Yes.
Taveras just catching them all in the forearms. I don't think it really ever...
There was one that landed on the head.
Yeah, he did crack him a couple times. He was like, the body kick was nice. Oh, yeah, he did stun him with that.
Yeah, he wobbled him a little bit. Remember? He was just like...
Yeah.
Put his hands up, but then he put him out just a little bit. Just so he was like, "Oh,
just kidding."
What are we doing here?
Yeah, but then and then Jack hurt him with the hands at one point as well. Taveras is just so durable and he's so game that you can high kick him and wobble him, but the next step he takes is going to be forward. And there was just a lot of cool sequences in this. Cool grappling from Jack Jenkins too, which is it's not a good comparison, really, but it kind of reminds me of Luke Rockhold. Prime Luke Rockhold was such a heavy kicker, but then he would also, his jiu-jitsu was actually sneaky good. People eventually realized how good he was on the ground, but because everyone thought, oh yeah, check hook and a high kick, and that's pretty much all he's got, or the liver kick, and it kind of was, but at least on the feet. But then if you went to the ground with Luke Rockhold, that dude would fucking tangle you up, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, just because Jack, he has some sneaky shit that he pulls off on the ground, and then if you're on the feet, dude, you're gonna get blasted with kicks. But it was a fun fight.
Do you think that knee to the nuts was intentional in the second round?
I don't think so, but god damn, it was a brutal one.
Yeah. I went just watched that part back again. I was like, man, it looked like he meant to hit him right on the nuts.
Maybe I'll go back too.
Yeah,
there was two low blows, right?
Yes.
I think Jack kicked him at one point.
And that's one of those things where, again, I just go back and I'm like, if I'm a fighter, I'm like, hey, I need a rest right now. I'm just gonna knee this guy right on the nuts, get a hard warning.
Yeah.
Just come back refreshed. Yeah.
Okay. Rick, shout out Rick Allen says Dominick Reyes was, or Dominick Reyes was talking about God, Jesus, faith almost as much as Dariush before this fight, bro. Do you think maybe Dominic thinks him getting violently KO'd again was God's plan? I think that's, I think that's part of the game, right? I'm not religious myself, but that's kind of part of the whole God's plan thing is isn't it when bad shit happens, it's well, God's got a plan, and you can kind of move past the bad thing that just happened.
What happens, what's meant to be is meant to be.
Gotcha.
In the words of Max Holloway,
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, shout out Sammy, saying hello, Miro and Will. Ghost sent us in his Discord. Shout out Ghost again. Thank you. What rating would you give this card? We didn't even talk about this earlier. You know what? On a scale of 1 to 10, Will, what would you give it?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'd probably do a 5.3.
Oh, I was gonna say 5.4.
Oh, I almost went 4 now.
We should have gone same time. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
John Stamos.
Yeah, and just seeing what we came up with. But we were super close. I'm right there with you. There were some fun knockouts and things like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, overall, it's this. Most of these fights should be I don't know. Most of these fights could have just been prelims on a good card.
Yeah. If that. Okay.
If that.
Look, but somebody that I do.
You guys are generous.
Yeah. Hey, everybody that's on the chat, let us know what y'all think. Like you all rate it. Our group gave it a 3. They said, ooh.
Yeah, 3. I mean, I get it, but there was enough on here for me that it's I wasn't pissed off that I spent time watching it. You know, there was enough on here that I was like, all right, it's entertaining enough, I guess. None of it means much grand scheme of things, but there was a couple cool moments. But it was pretty bad.
Let's talk about somebody else that's pretty cool. Mr. Neil Magny versus Jake Matthews. Neil Magny, the ultimate gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the thing is that like before he was a gatekeeper for the top 15, and now that he's not in the top 15, it's like now he's a gatekeeper to see if he should even be considered for the top 15.
Should get to a
yeah, dude. Like,
and he holds that gate down, dude. He still does.
He does. Dude, 31-13 now.
Dude, and it's when we see on Ultimate Fighter, what year was that?
It was 1956.
Man, 2012.
September 08.
2012. Mike Peričić knocked his ass out with that elbow. Do you remember that? I thought Magny was going to win the whole thing, and then Peričić came in and was like, psych.
Story of his career, huh?
Or the opposite in this case.
True.
In this fight. And actually, lately, his career has been guys kind of beating him up for 2 rounds and then him pulling it off at the end.
And look, thank you, Jen. He brings up exactly what the biggest focal point of this fight is. He says Jake Matthews is appealing this because of the ref stopping it and restarting it. Thoughts on this fiasco? Yes. So Jake Matthews gets Neil Magny in guillotine, I believe it was, right?
He gets him in a guillotine. Neil shoots on him.
Yeah.
Jake pulls guillotine. Ends up on a mounted guillotine. Neil Magny chills a little bit. And then who was the ref in this one?
I don't remember seeing this dude. Some dude from Perth, probably.
It's some dude from Perth, probably. Jim Peričić.
Oh, it was close.
So he gets him in that guillotine, mounted guillotine. And can we go back a couple pictures, Rich? So he's here. And then the ref thinks Neil Magny's out because there's he hears the clacker probably.
But first,
Yeah.
Hear that.
Clacker goes off. Neil kind of just, he doesn't slump. He just kind of is like, okay. And he puts his legs down. He kind of just chills for a second. Ref thinks he's out. Stops the fight. Bell rings. Next picture, Rich. Jake Matthews like, I fucking did it. And Neil Magny's like, don't you fucking dare. What are you doing? And
the ref's like, oh, guys, he didn't go out. Fight's still on.
Yeah, no, the round ended. And you're like, no, it didn't, dude. You stopped it. And Jake Matthews like, what?
Oh, my God.
Look, ultimately, fuck, dude. Ultimately, it's, I want to know your thoughts on this because the ref called the fight. The ref called the fight before the horn went off. Ghost says, I don't know if it's actually legal to stop the fight, then say never mind. It shouldn't be because once the ref stops the fight,
I don't think
over.
It is.
It's
I don't think it is. Once the ref gets involved and stops the fight, that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
The fight's called.
And people are saying if he didn't stop it, it's not like he would have choked him out or got the tap with that 1 second left. They would have continued anyways. And you're like, at this point, it doesn't really matter. Though.
If he didn't stop it. But he did.
But he did stop it, so it doesn't matter. Everything else shouldn't matter.
When we had, and granted, it wasn't the end of the round, right? But you had Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler, where Robbie Lawler wasn't out. And then I think it was Herb Dean that stops. And Robbie Lawler's like, dude, what are you doing? And then Herb Dean, you just see the look of disappointment.
Yeah.
And then Robbie Lawler, the nicest guy, is like, Herb, it's all good, dude. You're a great ref.
He also saw Herb's look of sadness.
Yes.
Shit. Well, now I feel bad.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck, Herb? And then he's like, oh, dude, I just hurt Herb's feelings.
Yeah.
And he was very sad and disappointed in himself. But once you stop it, mistake made or not, in stopping it, that's it. End of fight. End of fight. At that point, if Neil wants to appeal, then let Neil appeal.
Yes. Exactly.
But it's not on Jake Matthews afterwards to have to appeal after he lost the fight when he had originally thought he won.
No. And Sammy says, would Herb Dean reverse a stoppage? No. He was who did he ref Silva versus Bisping, or was that Mark Goddard?
I think that was Herb.
Was it? Because that was almost a similar situation, right? Where he got knocked out at the end of the bell, but he didn't necessarily he didn't have time to call it off. The bell rang as he was about to.
Exactly.
So it was very close to that, but not quite the same thing.
You remember that one? Silva's like on top of the cage, like dancing and stuff. And he looks over,
yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, we were in the break room at work watching that. Do you remember that?
Were we really?
Yeah, because it was like in the middle of the day.
Dude, you're right. You're right. Hey, also, terrible move for both of us, huh? To just be in there just watching fights in the break.
Yeah, I know.
What are we doing?
Like half the store employees were like going in and out watching the fight, dude.
Oh, it's terrible.
You know, I also watched Cody Garbrandt versus Dominick Reyes in that break room.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That break room's seen a lot of fights, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
man.
times.
All right.
It was Herb Dean that did that fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you think he appeals it? Do you think, or he did appeal it? But do you think anything comes of that?
I don't know, man.
I don't know how their athletic commission handles things like that because usually appeals
Perth?
don't go through. Yeah.
Perth Athletic Commission, as they call him.
Yeah, as they call him.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. But then Neil Magny survives, obviously.
Calling this the birth of a forever friendship. For real, dude. Just talking fights like during work.
I mean, that's how it started. But second round, Matthews is just fucking ragdolling Neil Magny on the ground. Gets him in a mounted triangle at one point. Is just beating him in this position here. Is just beating him up there. This was actually very impressive to me because at some point, this is a hard one to finish, right? And especially Neil Magny, you know, he's tough to finish regardless. But
yes,
you know, it's mounted triangle on Neil Magny is going to be tough. And I thought Jake Matthews did a fantastic job of getting out of this position while staying on top. And that's tough to do, dude, because you're also kind of tangled up here. And if you're starting to go off, it's so easy to get off balance in this position if you don't have it perfect. And he was able to kind of backstep out and stay on top. And I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking slick. But then third round, Neil Magny comes out, you know, and does Neil Magny things.
He's like,
fucking gets the darts, dude. Yeah.
I'm Neil Magny. Yeah. I'm the gatekeeper. You shall not pass. And then, hey, dude, Lord of the Rings reference?
Hey.
Dude, we're just chalking them all up today, dude. All these different references. We're ready to go. That's what happens when you have this type of card in Perth.
Do you feel like when there's a shittier card, we're more like we have more
off
fun?
The rails?
Yeah. Those are two synonymous things, off the rails and fun.
I don't know if I would say we have more fun. We have some fun talking about some solid cards, you know what I mean? But
no, definitely.
We have more fun talking about non-combat sports things when there's a card like this?
Yeah, yes, maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We shall move on. We're going to start skipping fights here pretty soon for the sake of time.
Yes.
But not yet. Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell is the next one we're covering.
Yeah, and this was actually a fun fight. Not a ton of pictures from this one.
Hey, nice spinning back kick from Nolan.
Oh, right to the gut, huh?
Right to the gut, dude. And you saw
that was kind of the
hands go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And he
that was the turning point. That was the turning point because, dude, Charlie Campbell just comes out like a bat out of hell in this fight, just throwing 1-2s down the pipe. And Tom Nolan's such a tall fighter and he's reaching him. And he's like, you're like, oh, fuck, dude. And he's staying on him aggressive. And, you know, if you can get someone to walk onto a spinning back kick to the body, God, after they've already thrown a lot in that round, had him hurt a little bit, Nolan did a good job of making some adjustments. But, man, you can just sap someone's will to live at that point. And I'm not saying he did, but it was fucking close because you saw the demeanor change off that spinning back kick to the body. Tom Nolan's fun, dude. He's got a lot of like bag of tricks. He's a crafty guy out there. He's super, super fun. Yeah. And you know, I think Charlie Campbell just got stung and then he just didn't let him off the hook. When this fight started, I was like, I don't think this is gonna make it out of the first round, dude. These guys are going too hard. It was fun though.
Yeah. It was fun while it lasted. You know, they were there for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Got him with the rear naked choke. And there was only like 30 seconds left, something like that, right? 40 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, there wasn't much left in that first round.
Tom Nolan's, I think, he clearly, I mean, he's young, right? How old is he? He's 10-1 now. He was 9-1 going into this fight. He's only 27 years old, dude. 25 years old. Jesus, he was born in 2000. God damn, dude. There's some things he needs to do, I think, refinement a little bit, but his defense was like a little suspect in this fight. But also, you got Charlie Campbell sprinting at you, throwing hands. First thing, as soon as the bell rings, I'll give him a little bit of slack on that, you know?
Yeah.
Fun fight, though.
It was a fun fight. All right, this is where we start skipping fights. We're going to start talking. Actually, this was one of my favorite moments of the entire night was the post-fight interview. But it was Cam Rowston versus Andre Petroski.
Dude, what even was this, dude?
I don't know, dude. Dude, how tall is
has
Rowston?
some of the...
Let me see. I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Yeah, they're at 185. He looked gigantic.
He's 6'3".
6'3". Okay, that's not too bad. But Rio says, will make me feel old. Ghost already does that on our Discord. Bro, born in 2000, he's out here getting wins in the UFC. That's crazy. And he's not even like, there's other people who are fucking 7 years younger than him on the roster. That's crazy. What the fuck is going on?
Chase Hooper?
People born in 2006?
No, Chase Hooper's probably, how old is he now? He's been around for a minute now.
26. Yeah.
He started off when he was like 15, I think. But yeah, Cam Rowston, super tall. Petroski, just always like in peak athletic condition, looks like, dude, with this guy.
Yeah, he's jacked. And it's like no body fat. And it's like, is that why everything rocks him?
Oh,
because is he like sapping himself? Yeah, I don't.
That's a good point.
Because, bro, he knocked himself out shooting on, was it Malkoun?
That's right.
He hit him in the hip and knocked himself out. And at the same time, Jin says, you guys think Petroski should retire? He's getting chinned by soft shots. I mean, dude, these punches, it was crazy the way he went down. And then finished in guard. And,
you know, this is the thing. Rowston the entire time was putting that left hand out there, right?
Yeah.
And as Petroski comes in, he's smacking down. He brings the hand back up. And just from that exact same position, just lands that check hook as he's moving back. Drops Petroski. And then the ground and pound didn't really seem like he was landing like solid shots.
No.
But then the ref still stopped it.
Yeah, but he just couldn't take it. And then when he stopped, I was like, "What? That was weird." And then they stopped it, and he's just like flat on his back, and it's like,
and I was like, "I guess he did rock him."
I think he was done. Yeah, just weird.
So weird. And then
weird.
That post-fight interview, like I said, he's like, 7 years ago to the date, there was another man, 6'4", 185 pounds, that made his debut. Often imitated but never duplicated, or something like that, dude. And he's talking about Izzy. Izzy's in the crowd, like chanting on it. It was like such a rehearsed, post-fight interview. But I still thought it was fun. It reminded me a lot of like Chael Sonnen's like old school post-fight interviews. Mm-hmm. But it was a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, it was so weird on the replay. Like you mentioned how he was like pawing with that lead hand, and it looked like the paw is what like knocked him out or like dropped him. And I was like, what the hell?
Just
and
like
then,
tapped him, slapped him.
Yeah, and then on the replay you can see it turn his head around and stuff. But even then you're like, he didn't really like put his hips into it. It was like all arm. It was super weird.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what Petroski. What's next for him? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily need to see anything else. Ghost says this felt like City Kickboxing FC.
Yeah,
it really did.
Oh, and just that lettering there, maybe Petroski goes to BKFC.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could definitely see him going there because it seems like everybody that goes there, I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea, and then they go there anyways. So maybe this is perfect.
Give me Petroski versus Mike Perry. Tomorrow. I need it now. Oh man. All right. I believe next we have who is it? Musasa and Colby?
Yeah, Musasa versus Colby. Slickness, dude.
Slickness. So hey, by the way, I wasn't able to catch all the fights this time around, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. Your boy had to pressure wash the entire fence, had to install a new ceiling fan. So super busy today.
Priorities.
Super busy. Yes, absolutely. Not getting my wife pissed off at me. High priority. But yes. So you're gonna have to tell me about this fight, man. Break it down.
Yeah, Colby. Shout out Colby Thicknesse. He's sick. He's a cool dude. He dropped his debut, right? And he showed like a ton of heart in it. It was like short notice. Yeah, against fucking Ilya's brother. So they give him this fight, and Musasa is just walking him down, throwing bombs on him. And Colby's just like trying to get out of the way of these bombs, and he's getting hit, and he's like fucking moving around and stuff. And finally he gets the takedown. After the first round, you're like, oh no, this might be a long night or a short night, right, for Colby, because he's getting lit up here with big shots. And then he takes him down, and it's a completely different fight, and he's just beating the brakes off of Musasa. He gets mount like right away. He's dropping elbows, dropping punches, and pretty much it was just the tale of two fights. It was like on the stand-up, Musasa's walking him down, dropping bombs, and then if Colby gets a takedown, he's on top, dropping bombs. And it was just a fun fight. He almost gets this choke at the end of the first round, and it's just like, holy shit. Yeah, and that's why he didn't quite get it, right? But yeah, it was gnarly. Musasa was giving a thumbs up the whole time, but yeah, just a fun fight all around. It was actually, I thought this one was pretty entertaining. Just two dudes, very clearly, one wants to be on the feet, one wants to be on the ground, and both of them, you know, doing what they can to get a finish in both of their realms. Maybe not the, like, you know, these aren't two ranked fighters or anything like that, and there's obviously some holes that they need to shore up, but they're both young fighters. I thought it was fun.
Nice.
Fun stuff.
Blender up saying domestic ass. I know, dude. I gotta do what I gotta do. And then shout out Rick Allen. Stop pretending you have a wife and that you're tall enough to install a ceiling fan, hombre. I see right through you. Hey, dude. First of all, somebody
he has no fence.
is able to put up with me. Second of all, they make ladders, hombre. So yes, your boy definitely had to use one of those ladders. Yeah, I bet Romero has no fence. Hey, Rich isn't supposed to. Dude, this guy's ganging up on me with everybody else over there.
Damn, dude.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Nice drop there. All right, next, Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina.
Yeah, and real quick, James says Thicknesse has some Volkanovski in him, but he circles way too much. I think he circles. He's got those pitter patter like twinkle toes in his circling. He's moving all over the place, and you're like, chill a second, dude. But also he was getting lit up, so maybe that's why he's like all over the place. But yeah, Michelle Montague versus Luana. I thought this was actually surprisingly, this was one of my favorite fights on the card. To be honest, and look, like I said in the last fight, you got to take the good with the bad. And yes, there are things that I'm not super impressed with in this fight, but at the same time, there's plenty of good things to take from it, in my opinion. I think Michelle, her tenacity and her foot on the gas mentality is sick as fuck for the weight class and something that's needed in that weight class. And Luana made her fight for every inch in this fight, because very similar to the last one, Jin says this was the worst fight on the card for me. One of my favorites.
Hey, Colleen, she said, I love this fight.
Hey, love this fight.
Montague's so impressive.
Yeah. So it's just one of those fights where, like I said, you got to take the good with the bad. And it was entertaining for me because while Michelle clearly wants a takedown and she's running in with her hands, pumping, trying to get takedowns, Luana's just backstepping and just cracking her, stunning her with these shots. But she's still fighting through that and getting the takedowns. And then when she does, same thing with Colby, it's like on top with a purpose. It's not just control. You know what I mean? Like it's here to land damage. Luana lands an elbow off her back that splits her open. She's bleeding all over her. She lands an illegal up kick. They take a point away, and you're like, oh shit, this is crazy. And it's just foot on the gas from Michelle.
Bill Nye the Science Guy took away a point from her?
Damn, dude.
What is going on?
Get your man a bow tie out there, dude. But yeah, it was just a fun fight. You know, Michelle by the end of it is just cut up, but then on top she's just beating the brakes off of Luana. Yeah, it was just a fun fight. It was just this is someone who's young in this game. Clearly, you know, still needs to clean up a little.
Montague's debut.
UFC debut. Yeah, she was in PFL I think before. I think I saw her in PFL once. But yeah, I thought.
Yeah, you're right.
In this division, we need some new blood. We need someone with some, you know, electricity on it.
Tenacity.
Yeah, and it's like not every fighter is gonna be perfect. There's holes. It's her job to fill up those holes and, you know, shore up those holes and you know, improve. And I think she will. This is her UFC debut. She got caught a couple times. She can learn from that. And, there's someone for me to keep an eye on in the division where there's really not much to keep an eye on.
It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah. James says they kept saying Montague trains with Kayla Harrison, but she was not impressive. I disagree. I was
saying, I made a quesadilla during this fight and drew some sumo animations. I love it.
The sumo animations are sick, by the way. I like that.
Dude, so those animations on Ghost's social media are all drawn?
Dude, yeah, I think he goes frame by frame and draws those.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's got to be an insane amount of work.
Dude. That's some serious skill. All right. And I believe the last fight we're going to cover Brando versus Ellison.
Yeah, did you see this one?
Peričić?
Yeah, something like that. Dude, the face-off picture is so funny, dude. Whenever Dana's not there and there's heavyweights, it's hilarious, dude.
Oh, Ghost said I draw them frame by frame, no AI. Hey, props to you, man. That's insane.
Dude, yeah, those are so
That's
sick.
some dedication.
You guys don't follow
Ghost.
If you're watching this and you don't follow Ghost, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, basically this is just Brando just fucking walking Ellison down and landing bombs on him, heavyweight power, and then the follow-up shot he drops him and then lands this shot right here and puts him out fucking cold, dude. And you're like,
oh my god.
Shit. Yeah, but look, it's heavyweights. We need some action fighters at heavyweight, and it looks like Brando's going to be that guy. Or one of those guys, so I'm all for it. Ellison was making his debut, so second fight on the card. This is a good spot for someone like this. I think this is good. All right. Mom says sad to see Ellison lose. To be honest, yeah, they're all hyping up how much fighting saved his life. He's training. Speaking of Chase Hooper was in his corner. But
they both had similar outcomes in their last couple fights. Rough.
Damn, I can't believe I just said that, dude. Damn.
All right, moment of silence.
Punk, dude.
Tito, dude, by the way, how many Tito Ortiz videos have we sent each other the last month?
Dude, I know. We've just been sending Tito fucking clips. He's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
Every other meme we send each other is a Tito Ortiz meme. It's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, canceled bouts. Man, moment of silence for a lot of these, to be honest. Obviously, Dooho Choi versus Daniel Santos would have been sick. And then originally, I think Santos was supposed to fight, Ju-Sung Yu. I don't remember if that was before or after the Santos or the Dooho Choi matchup, but that's also one that would be super cool. Tom Nolan was originally supposed to fight Evan Elder. That would have been a fun fight. I like Evan Elder a lot. I think he's got a very complete game. Junior Tafa and Justin Tafa both fell through. Justin Tafa got sick, or one of them, I don't know which one of them. One of them had their wife is pregnant and is a high risk pregnancy, and he's like, I just can't right now, and that sucks. I feel bad, and I know a lot of people meme on the Tafa brothers, but that one's legit in my opinion. And then Oban Elliott we didn't get to see, which sucks, and against Mikhaev would have been fun. Rio says, what type of shorts would you guys wear? The cut shorts or the skin tight ones where they can see the cup?
It depends, I think depends on where I'm at with my current diet. Like right now, I'd probably go skin tight.
If you're light heavyweight DC versus heavyweight DC?
I was just about to say, if I'm DC dad bod, give me the cut shorts.
Damn, dude, give me the Dennis
That
Hallman,
didn't stop
dude.
DC though.
No, it didn't.
That did not stop DC. Rolls and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, rolls and all. Give me the Dennis Hallmans, dude. Rich, I don't know if you can Google Dennis Hallman and pull up a picture. It might be not safe for work, but we should let it roll anyways. Okay, we'll move on to that. But real quick, we can go bonuses.
Monies.
Yeah.
What do we have? Yeah.
Bonuses. I think Rich, I can do that while you pull up the Dennis Hallman if you got it. Ulberg got a bonus. Obviously for knocking out Dominick Reyes in the main event.
Picture.
That's worth it. Jimmy Crute got one for his what'd you call it?
The Steiner recliner, dude.
The Steiner recliner.
They should have had a picture of the Steiner recliner on the Performance of the Night picture, but it's all good. Shout out Matt Lindsay.
Yeah, and then Tom Nolan got one for his first round onslaught that he survived, and then got the finish. And then Brando got one for putting Ellison night.
Yes.
Literally looks like he put him to bed there.
And then what do we have next week?
Real quick, before we go into the next one, do we have a thing from Ghost here? A question from Ghost. Where was it?
Thoughts on the UFC site fees being paid by city? Seems very silly to pay the UFC to come to town with taxpayer money. Ooh.
Look, there must be something going on. It's either corruption or return on investment. It's got to be one of the two, right? Because what did Shapiro was just talking about, how he's like, if you're a St. Louis, or if you're I forgot the other city he named, like Dayton, Ohio, or some shit like that, or Columbus or something. He's like, if you're one of those, why would we go to you? If so you're gonna have to entice us to come. And they're talking about these site fees. Like Australia historically has paid a shit ton of money for them to come there. And the only thing I could think of is either kickbacks for the local government, right? Or somehow they generate a ton of tax revenue for the city. I don't know if like the taxes collected on the tickets plus all the food and the hotels and all that stuff, if that will eventually offset it. But some of these site fees are just fucking crazy. So I can't imagine that it's a net gain off of these site fees. It would just be insane to me. But I mean, me personally, I would be upset if like all my tax money was going to send, $20 million to the UFC for them to have an event in my state that I might not even be able to go to, because the tickets are also like $1,000 fucking dollars. You know what they should do when they pay one of these crazy site fees? They should give you, you remember the Monterey Bay Aquarium? You've been there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get a discount if you bring in like something that proves you live like in the Monterey area. Give me a discount, like a state discount on a UFC event if they gave them some crazy site fee. It's like, hey, my taxpayers' money brought them here. At least you could do is give me a fucking discount on the tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, there's got to be an ROI on it, though.
But there's got to be. It's either...
There's got to be.
Hey, there's my shorts, dude. The Dennis Hallmans. He got those banned after that. Was it Brian Ebersole, I think he fought?
Classic.
And then they're like, no more of that.
Oh, hey, Blunderbuck saying, which is better, torture rack or Steiner recliner? Give me the torture rack all day, dude.
Never even heard of that, dude.
Lex Luger, do you know who that is?
I've heard the name.
Dude, he'd like pick him up and put him over his shoulders and like just bend him over and over and over again, so like the person's just like dangling, and they'd be like, oh my god, and like the bell would be going off and he's just like just racking him over and over. It's amazing. Classic. Good times, dude. Good times. I would take that over UFC Perth any day, just so you know.
Yeah. Sammy said, how did Story of the Fight start? It started during COVID. I was like, you know what? I want to make a channel, and I'm going to do fight breakdowns. And I spent like 3 hours breaking down.
Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker had just happened. And I was like,
phenomenal fight.
Yeah, I wanted to make a point about how the UFC always, if the UFC calls you a crafty vet, it means you've been knocked out like 3 times in your last few fights. And they need to say something about like, they got to sell you somehow. So they're like, he's a crafty vet. And you're like, well, that means he's on the downward slope. And so the point I wanted to make in that video was that Dustin Poirier had ascended to crafty vet while still in his prime. And I was like highlighting that basically. And then I spent all this time on it. It was like a 35-minute video. I was very careful about the clips that I used and how long the clips were and all this stuff. I'm like, this is definitely fair use, all this stuff. Posted it, was very proud of it. And then did a voiceover and everything, had it fucking telestrated. It put so much work into it. And then like 2 days later, it got claimed and taken down. I was like, fuck this. And then you, I think, mentioned like, hey, what if we just do something like this where we just recap the event and we every week we just do like we just recap the cards. We just chat about them because we were already doing that anyways, right? Because you moved out of state and we were like, well, we were the people that we talked to about fights. And yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then eventually it changed from recording it to doing live streams. You can go back on our channel and watch all that shit, and it's horrible. It's definitely a lot better. Yeah, I think Sammy says maybe you can put that breakdown someplace else. I think it's actually up now. I think it's back on the channel.
Yeah.
Because it was fair use. It wasn't, the copyright claim was bogus. So I think it's back up now, but who knows? It's pretty bad, probably. It's like the first one I ever did. So, and also like who am I to even be talking about the shit like that? But
the very first episode you and I did together was the first Fight Island, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see. Dude, yeah, it's actually still in my notes.
Oh, you got your your OneNote or something?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Wait, was it the first Fight Island or was it Fight Island 7? I don't know. I don't remember.
It's been a long time. Been like 5-6 years now.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Must have been 5 years.
All right, but yes, next week we have UFC 320 and Kalai versus Pereira 2 is going to be the main event. You have Rob Valashvili versus Corey Sandhagen, Yidri Prohaska versus Khalil Browntree Jr., Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal, Joe Pyfer. He's not fighting in Mexico, so he is happy. Versus Bruce Magomedov.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ateba versus Ozzy Diaz is sick.
Edmund Shabazian, remember when everybody was like, he's the next hot thing?
Yeah, against Andre Muniz. That's actually a decent fight. Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez could be that could be horrible. Santos versus Jusong Yu looks like it got rebooked. That's a fucking banger. Patchy Mix goes all the way down to the fucking prelims.
Santos versus who? Macy Chiasson? Come on.
Oh, man. Punahele's back. That dude cracks against Veritenikov. That's a sick fight.
I'll always watch dude. Punahele Soriano fight, dude. I'm telling you. Mr. Paige Van Zandt.
Veronica Hart. Oh, I thought you were saying Miss Veronica Hardy, dude. That's my girl.
Is that versus Brogan Walker?
Dan Hardy's wife.
Oh,
she's sick. If you guys don't watch his channel with her that they do is actually really sick. They got a good thing going. Yeah, I like it. We also have one Fight Night 36 on Friday. Prajan Shai versus our boy Jonathan DeBella, friend of the show. Shout out to the DeBella family. He's gonna try to unify that belt, get the win over Prajan Shai in the rematch. Kong Torani is back. Anglan Song versus Katastam. What else do we got? Jared Brooks, the Monkey God against Malakayev. Oh God. Vigna versus Isojima is fun. Let's see. Marie versus Selena Flores. They just signed another California Muay Thai girl. Zakharov versus Yang Hu Yang. Yeah, dude, this is fun. Jiao Sui Yai versus Akif. If you guys don't know, about Akif Gulizada, that's the guy to keep an eye on. This dude, holy shit. He's like, if you know who Chingiz Alazov is, it's his like protege almost. And I don't know how old he is. He's got to be like 19 or something like that, 20 maybe. This dude is next fucking level, dude. He's the future, I think. Already proven a little bit. Like I don't think he's gonna get like fraud checked or anything like that. Akif, that's one to watch if you guys aren't familiar. But he's facing Jiao Sui Yai, who Jiao Sui Yai is also very good. But yeah,
I'm always impressed with your pronunciations.
They're probably not even great though.
They sound good to me.
Yeah, but you're not the right judge on it.
That is very true. That's a fact. All right. Hey, well, real quick, Will. I want to give a shout out to everybody that joined us today. James, Goes, Colleen, thank you for joining us again. Blunderbub, always fun. Sammy A, always a good time. Rio. Who else? Am I missing anybody else?
Rick Allen, I think, was one.
Rick Allen hopped in talking shit. Jen. Hopped in as well.
Shout out my mom.
If I miss anybody, I apologize. But it's always so much fun whenever y'all join us live and we just start chatting up, talking.
Yeah, and real quick, James says, I don't understand how Loma, Luke Bonmay, she fought on the card also. We didn't cover her fight. Says that her main sparring partner is Wei Li. She had the same coaches and still gets ragdolled by an inferior fighter. I think part of that is just her size. She should be fighting at atom weight, but the UFC doesn't have atom weight. So she's just undersized. So yeah, she's training with Zhang Wei Li, but she's also probably getting ragdolled by Zhang Wei Li. And then she's still fighting people bigger than her. So I think it's just tough, dude.
It is. And Colleen saying, hey, you got the pronunciations from her, Will. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. You made this a lot of fun. So much better. Hey, let everybody out there know we're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. Let them know you're having fun whenever you do hop on the podcast. we really do enjoy it, though. Well, we look forward to talking to everybody about the fights, right? Even if it's
and
Perth, like that's why we watch Perth, because we're like, it's gonna be fun when we talk to everybody else about this.
Yeah, it's especially good when there's a bad card, because we get people in the chat and it's like makes it a lot more fun to talk about some of these cards that would be a little depressing to talk about without. If it was just me and you, it's like, yeah, what have we been doing? Why are we talking about this bullshit? But if there's enough people,
he tried to be a pro wrestler for a minute in his 20s. Okay,
no way.
Finishing move. Let us know what your finishing move was before we actually sign off. But yes, shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Special shout out to the man that jumped in with everybody else talking shit to me, Mr. Rich Boosters, our producer in the background. Shout out to you. And Will, before we log out, again, score for Perth on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
John
5.4. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5.3.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.